Renee, Chris, and Ryan going live. Best podcast, Beauty and the Beast. Sit back and catch a vibe. Oh yeah, we talking zombies and apocalypses and all those things you like. Going beast mode, and if you didn't know, it's Peter Z up on the mic. Whoa. Hey, TWD family, grab the snacks about the pantry. And subscribe and like if you can, please. Or those walkers eat you like some candy. Hey, okay. You at the right place at the right time. No one does it better, that's the bottom line. Beauty and the Beast, this is prime time. Let's go. Hey, Renee, Chris, and Ryan going live. Best podcast, Beauty and the Beast. Sit back and catch a vibe. Oh yeah, we talking zombies and apocalypses and all those things you like. Going beast mode, and if you didn't know.
Are we really?
And there's 4 of us here. Surprise.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Is he a beauty or a beast, though?
That's a good question.
Can't you tell he's hard at work?
Yeah, he looks like it.
Yeah, he's in my office, hard at work. Oh.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I like that he's ready to like the emphasizing.
I had to reset my phone because it wasn't working. It was great.
Technology, thou art a bitch.
Yep. Did you guys get the story or no?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you were just laughing at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying you're silent, Ryan.
Let's try this now. Is that correct? Because apparently it decided to pick some random ass fucking device to record my audio. I don't know.
I can hear you. I know that.
I know, but I think I fixed it now that you guys will be able to hear me. See,
on the bright side, when Chris froze, it froze on a really nice shot of you.
Yeah, you had a great smile and everything.
Yeah, great, very candid.
Man, did you guys screenshot it?
I should have. Dang it.
Oh, come on.
I assumed Ryan was recording.
No, I only record the YouTube shit. I don't know.
Well, it's Ryan's fault, really.
All good.
Pie, it's the New Yorker in me. I talk too fast. I'm sorry. Just ask Chris.
We all do.
Right, Chris?
Yeah,
Ask
I
Meg.
don't know. Yeah, we get accused of it all the time.
Oh my God, I get told to slow down all the time.
How's everybody been? It's been a minute. It's been the longest for me out of everybody.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that there was like a conspiracy theory out there that we just like pulled some like Survivor, just kicked you off the island, some shit,
It's possible. I mean, look, obviously a lot of you guys know that I have a baby on the way, and I feel like I've been in between jobs more often than not, which sucks, but I feel like I just landed a nice forever home. So I'm hoping that from here on out, things are just smooth sailing till the baby comes in October. And then I'll try to manage the podcast while I'm burping a baby on my shoulder.
Perfect.
Or, changing a diaper in front
easy enough.
Changing a diaper right in front of Ryan. Be like, hey, you want some
yeah, don't worry about
guacamole? You want some guacamole with them chips?
Yeah. Absolutely not.
Oh God.
Chris, Pie says that you're being ungentlemanly by not introducing your guest. You just flashed a picture. You didn't introduce them.
I thought everybody knew. So this is Jordan.
Hi everybody, how we doing?
That's my son. That's my oldest. Him and I are what is it? What the hell was that? Tango and Cash? No, not Tango and Cash. Give me a good duo.
Dog and
Rocky
Dog
and Bullwinkle?
Dog the Bounty Hunter and
Yeah.
What's his son's name?
Oh, Chap or something?
Something
Starsky and
like
Hutch.
Do you remember the movie Tango and Cash?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a pretty
What's
good
the
flick.
Turner and Hooch?
Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch.
Well, everyone's saying hi to Jordan, and Linda said it's Chris 2.0.
It really
Yeah,
is.
Yeah.
It's the larger version of me. It's
Yeah, let's tell you guys a story about a sandwich and a belt.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So he's wearing a belt tonight. Don't worry, Ryan.
Thank God. Thank God for once.
All the food is safe in the land.
Thank God he's wearing a belt for once.
I have so many questions, but I don't want to ask.
Oh, well, don't worry.
We don't have time.
It's
It's 7:20. We got it.
That's for the after show.
true. It's 7:20. We gotta kick it into high gear. There's a lot to cover here.
What is everybody here for? What are we talking about again? I'm just kidding.
Uh,
I thought we were just hanging out.
we need to do that though one day. Just have a Zoom session.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so Dead City, right?
Episode 4.
Episode 4. I've been watching. I've personally been okay with it up until this episode, which I expressed some of my grind my guts kind of thing in the pre-show. But it has been good up until I would say like I said, this episode really just anytime you have an episode where there's 2 solid minutes of dead air and just some kind of weird background shots of them walking and eerie music, you couldn't fit in any dialogue. And seriously, go check this out. It's 2 solid minutes of just dead space. Prior to that, it was the girl who gets in the igloo cooler and paddles herself across
the Hudson.
The Hudson.
Yeah.
I want to put that theory to a test. I'm gonna go get an igloo cooler. I'm gonna put a girl who weighs roughly 120 pounds, 110, 20 pounds, we're guessing, and I'm gonna see if she can float in the Hudson. Go, let alone go across the current.
Maybe do it in a pool, not the Hudson, because we all know what the Hudson water's like.
Yeah.
Nope.
You're either not
It's gotta
coming
be
out of the
accurate.
Hudson,
That's
or
a
you're
death
coming out
sentence if
with
you put her
4
in the
arms
Hudson.
and 3 legs.
I'll make sure that I row next to them in a boat, but this has to be cinematically accurate.
You know how
A
The
pool will
Simpsons
not
has
cut
the
it.
3-eye fish?
Yeah.
Chris, we've always talked about doing the Walking Dead Mythbusters.
Yeah.
I know.
There you go.
I know. The hardest part's going to be finding someone who is willing to get into a fucking igloo cooler and try to paddle across the Hudson. We'll have to probably pay that person.
I feel like if Chris was 120 pounds, he would do it.
I would do it.
Yeah.
I do it now, but I'm definitely not making it at 2:30.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, none of us would make it. So I'm just going to tell you right now.
Well, Chris, you missed it. We talked about that last week, and we explained how that's how Daryl's getting to France.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan and
Absolutely.
I solved all the problems, and Linda, she even captured it for us and posted it. So
Yep.
it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the episode starts out with the flashback, which I was so excited. We had heard Stephen Ogg was on site. He was on set, and it was like, okay, is he just visiting and making everyone think something's happening? Or are we getting a flashback? And thank goodness we got the flashback.
It was very interesting because they don't. Have they done that before? Where they brought back a dead character for a flashback like that?
Only with when Rick's final episode, when him and Herschel were talking in the barn.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think
Didn't they do it too with Jared? When
when he was haunting
he was haunting him, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like a flashback scene, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you meant? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I meant it was like a
that's kinda what I
flashback,
meant.
yeah.
But what I thought was really cool about the whole thing was Negan never spoke a word.
Right.
He just,
Yeah.
and I love
Yeah,
how
his presence was.
Yeah, and I love how Lucille was right there. She was predominantly displayed right beside him, and
Yeah.
and then Simon walks in all Simony and
He called them Neegs.
Oh, I loved that. I used it in my article. I was like, when he talked to Neegs, because that was hilarious. But he he's just like, you can tell he does not like the Croat, because to me it was like they're kind of the same person. And so I felt like he was like, I don't like this guy because he's trying to take over my, like Simon wanted to be the man,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And so yeah, I thought that was really good, and I was so glad to see him again. And it was good to see the interaction between him and the Croat, to see how they obviously butt heads all the time.
Yeah,
you could tell that was an ongoing thing. Like Simon's tattling on him because he's not doing what he's supposed to.
And
but it was nice. It was nice to see also, because it reinforced Negan's number one rule is you don't touch the kids.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's a lie. Simon says,
well,
we don't kill kids. Simon ordered all of the Oceanside males 10 and up killed. Simon, now listen, okay, here's another thing. So back in season 6, Jesus talks about Negan. Well, I can't remember. I couldn't find the clip to see if he says Negan's people or if he says Negan or whatever, but there was a 16-year-old boy, Rory, who got killed by some savior. There, I couldn't find the clip to see exactly what he said, so we don't know, but Negan never went to Hilltop, so it's likely it was Simon, and they always said, I am Negan. So anyway, it's probably Simon. So Simon lied because he has and been,
and if he's in front of Negan, he's gonna lie. He's not gonna, know.
But do we know for a fact? Now, time changes people. Mm-hmm. Circumstances change people. Do we know for a fact that the stuff that happened in the flashback that we just saw, did that happen before or after we saw Simon doing what he did?
A little bit before, because we didn't see the Croat. Mm-hmm. We never met. Yeah, so the Croat was gone before we were introduced to the Saviors.
So my point being, it's possible for him to have had this ideal, and at some point he had some kind of circumstance happen where he realized, okay, well, maybe sometimes you have to do the dirty work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he very well could be. Yeah, he obviously went off the rails and did his own thing, and that's why he got killed. So yeah, but I really liked the interaction between Stephen Ogg and Jelko Ivanek. I thought that was really good. Favorite, because Jelko's kind of a shorter guy, and so it was just fun seeing that. Seeing those two, and then it also was good to see the story that Negan told. It was interesting to see that, like actually see it on the screen then too, of that, the torture of that little girl.
Yeah.
So
that was brutal to see
Negan's
reaction to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was but
and I do want to clarify for anybody watching that the reason I'm working, so if you see me looking around, it's not that I'm not paying attention. I just have to do my job.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I agree, Pi.
Sorry,
I
go ahead,
Meg.
Meg.
I love Stephen Ogg. Go ahead, Meg.
Between him being called Neegs and the way the Croat said his name, Negon. Like,
Negon.
I just loved that.
Yeah.
It was more of a Negon. Like, he was just like so.
I want somebody to say like Megan like that. Like Negon.
I know.
I mean, we can do that.
I know we probably won't see it, but I would love to see more flashbacks of the Croat, Negan, and Simon. I don't know why, but I feel like it would just be so comical. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, the Walking Dead Sanctuary, you know what I mean? And it's about them, you know what I mean?
I could watch that, yeah.
I would love it.
Just the series on the Sanctuary and how it started. I mean, he dives into it,
I would love to rewatch the show from the Savior's perspective. That would be very entertaining.
I was just thinking that, where the
original Walking Dead.
We could see it from their perspective also when Rick's people attacked the satellite.
Yeah, right.
And how Negan finds out about it and what he decides to do about it, and like seeing it from his perspective, I would love to see that. That would be a phenomenal.
Well, didn't they kind of tease that at one point during their? I could have sworn there was like an episode of Walking Dead where they kind of showed it from the alternate perspective.
I don't think so. Not that I can remember, at least.
Or maybe they showed what it was like when they really went in or something. But I remember there being some sort of flashback.
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
I'm gonna look
could've-
into this
I
later.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
So, I want to bring up my first grind my guts moment, if you guys don't mind.
Mhm.
I don't know how long the tribe's people were together before Negan and Maggie showed up.
Mm.
They seem pretty tight knit, right? Pretty close, pretty friendly, pretty family oriented, very close, you know. And the next scene that we see after the flashback, they're in what looks like a bar or whatever the hell it is, and they're talking about Luther going missing. And Tommaso, whatever his name is, he goes, yeah, he's an adult, you know, he could do whatever he wants, and, you know, he made his decisions.
Mhm.
That doesn't seem suspicious to anybody.
Well, it makes me kind of feel like they had an issue in the past.
Oh, maybe.
Like, it just kind of makes me feel like they might have crossed. They you know, like, they're two alpha men that don't really see eye to eye a lot of times, kind of thing.
And I wondered that, yeah, that's a good point. I wonder too if like that scavenger lady, she kind of went off on her own and then came back like she was out so I wonder if that's a common practice. Maybe they you know, so maybe he's thinking, and you know, and Luther, you know, to him Luther was not on board with this at all. So you know, maybe people going off scavenging on their own is a thing that they do. I don't know.
I would
but
just imagine that they would have to check in with each other and like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Think,
I don't know. You know, that just seems very odd. You know what I mean?
Or, and maybe since like I think the scavenger lady was the one that said, "Well, I saw him last night when I came in," so maybe they were thinking, "Oh, it wasn't that long ago." You know, but yeah, I mean, it was a little suspicious. Like why, like you said, they do seem very tight knit, and why they wouldn't be like a little more concerned.
Yeah.
See, and I missed something that you guys can clarify for me. The little tin that he put in his bag that Maggie found. That was something that obviously belonged to Luther, correct? Because I missed that part.
Okay, I
Like
was confused by that.
That was in a previous episode.
It was it was the thing that he put on the table, right?
No, it was the beeswax he was using on his cuts.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
And he wouldn't share it. He would not share it with Negan. Negan had that cut that he keeps looking at.
Okay.
Yep.
And he said, "Hey, I heard that's good for cuts. Can I use some of that?" And Luther's like, "No," and pockets it. So that's what it was.
That's right. That's what it was.
Yeah, and Maggie was right there when that was happening, so that's why she recognized it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I found out
missed
that
that
the
part.
flashback I was thinking of. It was when Virgil drugged Michonne, and she thought of what life would have been like if she had become a savior. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's-
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that makes sense.
It was bothering me, so I had to get that out.
I know.
All right. So yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Like I said, I definitely missed that part. But yeah, it didn't take Maggie. As soon as Maggie saw that, I mean, she knew exactly what had happened. I think it was also interesting for her, like, you know, to tell the story when she hears the harmonica playing, someone playing the harmonica in the background, and she kind of gives like a little glimpse into the inside of what life was like for her and Herschel. You know what I mean? And I mean, you know, let's say that I took the guy's harmonica and I buried it in the backyard. So, you know, can't imagine what you would have done with it, where you would have buried it. I'm thinking to myself,
And Negan kind of laughed.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah,
probably with the guy in the dirt.
yeah.
Or up his ass.
In his skull, yeah.
You could tell she kind of was getting like a little PTSD from it too. Like you saw the look on her
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
And
have to-
and that's one thing I do love about this series. We keep getting those little glimpses of things like that. I like that they keep sticking those in, so we're seeing, you know, it's like they're, you know, telling us the story without just, I don't know, it's more organic, I guess, than forced or whatever. I just feel like it fits right there. You know, that was a good opportunity to stick that in. There's like when Negan, you know, Maggie was talking about her pictures and things, and then Negan goes on to tell her about, you know, Annie and Joshua. You know, I just love how it flows very well the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
And you know, I had said this a couple of weeks ago. It's great. We've known these characters, Maggie for a decade, Negan for so long, and we're still learning about them. And I love that they're doing that.
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying watching Lauren Cohen as an actress now because obviously she had her parts in The Walking Dead. You know, everybody has their scenes and their stories and everything. But having her with JDM, and it's the focus is on them and it's not bouncing all over the place for characters. It's really to me, it's really great to see her range as an actress now. Like the emotion, being, the expressions, putting, like when you said when she hears the harmonica, it literally, like her whole facial expression changes and she goes into like a PTSD moment kind of thing. So for me, it's been fun to like really just watch her as an actor and watch her range now, and the focus is more on her. And I honestly she's been great. She's been amazing. So
yeah, I think this is the first time I've actually liked Maggie. I never didn't like her, but I was just very whatever. It's Maggie. I just never was very, even when they were like, oh, she's coming back. I was like, whatever. I didn't even but I am
exactly.
I think it is that chemistry and the fact that they can focus on these two characters, because we do have all these extra characters, but this is Maggie and Negan's series. We should have the focus on them, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's been nice to watch.
And one thing that I love about it too is that, for all things considered, Negan and Maggie should hate each other. I mean, they should absolutely hate each other. And despite the fact that Maggie is talking a big talk, you see that she's softening up to him again, and that she's, I don't want to say affectionate towards him, but like is a lot more receptive to him than we've seen ever.
And then there's more common ground found.
Yes, and we saw it, in multiple scenes throughout Dead City so far, where she wants to hate him, but then she finds herself relating to him. And I think that kind of shows the point that in this situation, they should absolutely hate each other. But if they can find a way to find common ground and get along, then everybody else can. Which is a very important thing in the zombie apocalypse, is that people working together. And they clearly can do it, and they are doing it. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I getting back to things that kind of like were bothersome during the episode, with after that 2 minute of dead air, they come into that room where they find the very first look-alike, I guess, of Herschel. I don't know if anybody else picked up on it, but when Negan, when it started growling and everything, and Negan raised its head up, raised its up and everything, when he looks at Maggie and says it's not him, he kind of smirks. And I don't know if that smirk is supposed to come across as hey, happy it's not Herschel, whatever kind of thing, or just him being his normal little sarcastic, and then the way he kills it, he gives this smirk oh, that's not him, and then just very nonchalant. And I was just it's he always has this charismatic smartass about him.
Yep.
And he can do it in any situation. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of, you catch a quick glimpse of him just kind of wanting to laugh, or not laugh, but the smile, and he has that, half a smile, whatever you want to call it, smirk on his face. So I just thought that was a little, I don't want to call it a jab to her, because I don't think it was, but I think, at the same time, it's how relieved are you? I don't know, because I know deep down he wants to save, obviously, Herschel for her.
Yep.
But at the same time, I think he took a small, little, tiny moment to antagonize her a little bit. That's how it came off to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. I'm sorry, go ahead, Meg.
No, go ahead.
I think it was, it's when you like somebody and you kind of poke fun at them a little bit. It kind of felt like that. You just you kind of busting each other's balls a little bit. That's how I kind of took it.
Yeah, it's I just found it when I saw it happen, I had to rewatch it real quick because I wanted to make sure I saw a smirk on his face.
Yeah,
but
what were you gonna say, Big?
There was a couple subtle facial expressions between Maggie in that moment, between Maggie freaking out, thinking it was Herschel, Negan smirk, and I don't know if you noticed. Usually when we see a walker die, they drop immediately. When Negan killed this walker, his head kind of slowly dropped back.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that struck me, because it was so different than we're used to seeing them die.
I expected the head to lean forward.
Exactly. And it
Mhm.
just like slowly went back. And I wasn't sure if there was like a meaning behind it or just maybe the angle he was at, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
fun-
even pick up on
It's
that.
nothing,
It's
but
funny you say that because I noticed it too.
okay, good.
And I thought it was very, very odd, but like the way that I thought it was that maybe that when he killed the zombie, that it was enough force to make the head go back instead of go forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it wasn't an instant drop
It
either
wasn't.
when he went back. It was very slow.
Yeah.
Like he didn't want to hurt his neck, like the actor.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got a neck ache. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
If
I
I'm
agree.
getting stabbed in the head, I'm dropping.
Yeah, I definitely noticed it too. So I
You
did
gotta dig if there's anything behind it.
right. I did like the scene right after that zombie after that walker was killed, where Maggie's kind of like she looks upset a little bit. You know, she's kind of like she's not in the moment. She's kind of like out there, and Negan's about to go through the door, and he turns back and he's like, you know, this plan's gonna work, Maggie. You know, we're gonna get your boy back, and again, just showing that Negan has that soft spot for kids, that like, you know, this is not just an adult they're going after, like this is somebody's son, and he takes that very seriously, and that was kind of cool that they took that moment for him to convey that to Maggie, and it came across so genuine and so like caring as to how she feels. So I thought that was very cool because it's not like the side of Negan that we're used to seeing. You know what I mean?
It reminded me of that episode of Walking Dead where Negan had that kid with him, and then that person like who idolized Negan killed the kid, and Negan killed that person. I don't remember what season or what episode it was.
Yeah.
I want to say season 10.
Yeah,
But,
wasn't it Brandon?
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember the names. I just remember Negan seeing the kid dead, and he's like, "I want to be just like you," and he just lost it. So that's Ryan. When you said that, that's what my mind was flashing to.
Yeah, I agree. That makes sense.
So what did it? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go, Chris.
No, go. No, go. I was gonna jump. I was gonna.
Right now, you go.
Yeah.
We're just gonna throw it out.
We're too fucking polite here.
This is what happened.
The Croat's talking to the girl. That's where we're at. So I don't know.
That's where I was going. But yeah.
Okay.
I was jumping a little bit ahead right to the octagon scene, but yes.
Wait, that was a girl? I thought it was a boy. With the CD. I thought it was a boy.
Yeah. Is it a boy?
I don't know. I think when I read it, it's a she.
I thought it was a female with short hair.
That's
So
right.
I didn't know if it was a boy with longer hair or a girl with shorter hair. Either way.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I wanted that candy, though.
The person he was talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought the candy was going to be laced, in all honesty. Like it was like poison candy or something.
Nah, because he had a job for her. She had to be focused.
Yep.
So
That's true.
I mean, how old is that fucking candy, though? I want to know that.
Yeah.
maybe he makes it. I don't know. I mean, he's making methane and whatever else.
It's Willy Wonka. Let's be real.
That's right.
So I'm glad that Mitchell brought this point up because it's something that I noticed too. When the Croat got near her, she flinched. And he said, "There's, you know, are you afraid of me? There's no reason to be afraid of me." And I don't know if we'll ever get the backstory of why that was. I doubt we will. We only have 2 more episodes left, but it was very bizarre. If you go back and watch it, she actually flinches when he's next to her, and there's very few reasons why someone would be that, like, reactive physically to somebody. So does he abuse his people? Does he physically abuse his people?
I think she just.
I mean,
I mean, the man bashes people's head, makes them swallow keys, bashes their heads, and throws them over balconies. I mean, that's what I took it as. It's just like she knows what he's capable of.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe he totally could. I have no idea, but I just took it as, you know, she's watched him do some pretty bad things to his own people.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily to her necessarily or whatever, but it was definitely, you could tell she was very cringy and you know, she was scared, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the people who go out and do the scavenging and they do the hunting and everything like that, I'm sure that when they come back, the stories that are told aren't pleasant ones either. You know, or the things that he's done personally. I'm sure it's no secret.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have to say that the whole swallowing the key thing and then making the
Armstrong.
the Marshall dig it out of his guts, pretty inventive. I gotta say, it's pretty inventive.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Pretty
kind of
cool.
like Saw-ish to me. You know,
Yeah.
Like,
like here's
let's
you can save yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I was impressed with the Croats technology. That like the CD player would open. There was all these buttons, like, you know, blinky lights. I was like, damn. For
he's
X amount of
smart.
years, 18 years in the apocalypse, pretty good.
Well, he's a scientist. I mean, he's a smart. I mean, he's very
that's
intelligent.
true.
You know, so he's got. I mean, obviously, he's making fuel out of dead bodies. He's you know,
I was
he's
very
a smart
impressed
guy.
by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, yeah, it was.
He called it the Sanctuary 2.0
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
when he's So I mean, yeah.
And it was really cool seeing the explosives near the doors, and having it go off, and actually seeing the walkers like flood in that was so freaking
That
cool.
was
to
such a
me.
good scene.
Yeah.
That
really
was
good.
probably my favorite scene.
I do have to say, like, when I saw the candle lit, like
Mhm.
when I saw them, you know, whoever, because all they showed was the hand lighting the candle.
Yeah.
So immediately I'm like, I'm like, is this Negan's trappy setting? Is he about to have dinner for two? Like, you know, is this, you know,
It's Lady and the Tramp.
It's him and the Croats reunion dinner.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I'm like, what is this going on? What's happening right now? And it, like, obviously it wasn't until they panned away when you saw the candle burning in the barrel. But,
Yep.
But we skipped the part where he heard the whistle.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's talking,
Yeah.
and it was. You know what I thought was so funny
Mhm.
was that he was like, "Do you hear that? Like, has he been hearing this in his head?" And then, like,
Yeah.
you know, when he said that, I was like, "He hears that."
Like he's
whistle
always on
often."
alert thinking he hears
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he was like looking at her like, "Do you hear that?" And then he hears it again, and then he knows Negan's there. You know, I thought that was
The way
so
he ran
cool.
off was
Yeah.
hilarious though. Like, he was like
Because-
skipping almost.
Well, just like when he yells for him, Negan. You know, I mean, he is like a little boy who's trying to impress his father. Look
Yeah.
what I made for you. You know,
I
Yeah.
kind of like got the vibe, like, you know, like as you said, like, has he been hearing it for so many years? I got this impression like he's been waiting for this moment, and so when he realized it's real, he had like a pep to his step. He was
Yeah.
so excited. So then when you said that, like the way it's like look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's skipping ahead a little, but when they're on the catwalk and he throws the marshal over the edge and Negan's helping him, he goes, "Negan, what are you doing?" It was so funny to me. I don't know why, but I wasn't trying to I don't want to make fun of like the accent or anything like that, but just the way he like the way that he emoted it was so friggin' hysterical. "Negan, what are you doing?" It was so funny to me.
Turning into one of my favorite villains just because of how
Oh.
cute he is. like it's adorable.
it's childlike behavior, like Renee said, trying to impress your dad. You know, like, you
Yeah,
wanna
that's
impress
exactly
daddy.
what he's doing.
Um,
And Jelko Ivanek in an interview, he said that, you know, he said that Negan brought him in when he was at his low. I mean, he was ready to kill himself, you
Yep.
know, and
mhm.
and Negan brought him in and took care of him after he lost his family and all this stuff. And so that there is definitely this, he feels like Negan is a father to him, a
Yep.
father figure to him who helped him and groomed him. And obviously his showmanship and everything, he tries to act just like Negan, you
Yeah.
know, and
The theatrics.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It made me think about, I don't know if this is like way off, but it made me think about when Austin Powers, when he has the conversation with Dr. Evil, someone's got a dad issue. You know, he's like,
It's a dad issue. I'm
Oh,
dead
someone's
issue.
Daddy didn't love me.
Shebang.
I loved when kind of going back to the whole like the candle. I know I keep saying, "Oh, it reminded me of this, reminded me of that." But there's just so many kind of callbacks. When the walkers kind of started kind of leaning up against the door, trying to get in, like seeing the candle. It reminded me of the second episode of Walking Dead at the mall when they were like trying to break the glass.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I was just like,
The banging him, yeah.
yeah, and then they eventually they got through. But with Ryan saying the way they flooded into Madison Square Garden, the Octagon, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You really felt like you were watching it through their eyes.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and, the whole scene that took place. Obviously, I really wish that whole fight scene tactically was done better.
Yeah. It was kind of a mess.
I mean, I know you got to have like, and especially being led by Maggie, like you've been in so many situations like this before. You're like, you've been a leader, everything. And like, I mean, I get maybe wanting to thin the crowd before you decide to backtrack into that octagon, kind of thing. But man, they lost so many people right there in that whole scene.
Well, I kept
they're
spread
spread
screaming.
out.
I'm like, get in the fucking octagon. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but like crowd control, because at that point the walkers will be against the cage, and you have sharp objects. Start stabbing them in the fucking head. Take them out one at a time.
As soon as I saw it, I thought they were gonna run right into it.
Yeah.
But no, they wait till there was like 5 left.
Mm-hmm. And the
Also,
parent, and then they.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say.
Go ahead. No,
this
can be said later on. It's fine.
I really feel like, I swear, watching that scene, they took that from a video game, 100%. Like that was like a scene. I played that scene. Like I know I've played that scene.
Well, you said Left 4 Dead. I was saying
it was either Left 4
Dead
Dead or Left 4 Dead. Yeah, it's either Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2, or like one of them. That I've played that. I've been in that. I've been in that arena.
I've played the World War Z game, and it was very similar, but it was in a mall, not in like an octagon.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have the horde, and you're like surrounded, and you got to like fight your way through.
I gotta say the CGI with the explosions were great. I thought they did a pretty good job with that. Yeah.
I do wish the fight scene was a little longer though, because that was the most entertaining part of the whole episode, in my opinion. Besides like the Negan Croat interactions.
I do want to give them props for the like being very adventurous and inventive with the new weapons.
Yes.
Maggie pulls out like this triple chain blade thing.
Yeah, what is that?
It's like three chain blades or so. I don't even know what to call them. And I mean, she's whipping them down with it. Then they have the nail guns that have basically like
those are very
it's like a harpoon gun now with a fishing line attached to it, basically. So they've introduced a lot of cool new things, which I think is it's really nice to see. We're not still seeing wooden spears and all this other shit. And I mean, you get hit with one of those nail gun tools, it's ripping chunks of flesh out of you.
Yeah.
So you're not just injured, you're pretty effed up.
But going back to the whole weapons thing, it's kind of a product of your environment. When they were like in Georgia or like Alexandria, it was all woods. So you had to adapt with it. New York, as we know, there was so much construction, so much metal. So it was easy to create more powerful weapons. So it's really a product of wherever you're at.
Yeah.
That's true.
Feeling
I have a question for everybody.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay. What is Jenny's purpose?
That's what I want to
be a pain in the ass, quite literally.
She's a pain in the ass.
She's Carl. She won't stay where she's supposed to.
She's the new RJ for me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's actually even a better representation.
I just don't.
At least Carl had purpose.
Yeah, we will say that.
I gotta say though, Jenny's got the easiest job. She doesn't have to say shit.
Yeah, that's.
I would love her role.
I will give the actress props though, because she does convey her emotions very well without using a word. She does a great job. I just feel like they've built her up with this, like she's going to be someone. I mean, they put her in all of the promotional materials. They've like when you interview Jelko and Gaius, you are interviewing her as well. So they make it like she's really gonna. But I don't know what I don't see.
She's the prophecy or something like.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's immune to the virus.
Oh god, this is Last of Us.
But yeah, so I just don't understand. Yeah, that part of it. But yeah, I mean, she's just kind of in the way. She's
I hope we have an answer by the finale, even if they just give a little bit, just enough to keep us going until whenever season 2 should come out.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like the first time she says a word since she was 5 or something, or ever.
Yeah.
It'll be in the last episode.
It'll be the last word of the season.
She just says
final 5
knee
minutes.
gun.
Yeah. Like
she'll say it like the Croat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's just when I seen her show up, right as Maggie's getting into the taxi to, set the plan in place, and then here she comes, I'm like, oh, there we go. we have a Carl issue.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
stay in the house.
I just
Coral.
wondered if anybody had any insight to that because I'm like, I don't know. I mean, she, you know, if and when Negan finds out she's there, he's gonna, you know, like that's gonna be his
Yeah.
main concern, which is why Maggie's trying to keep it quiet. You know,
Mhm.
she doesn't want him to know because she needs somehow, you know, they got to get Herschel and everything. But yeah, so I just
But
was
it
curious.
actually worked out though that because if Negan was in the octagon when like he saw Ginny, his
Mhm.
focus would have been entirely on her, and it would have been
Oh,
like
yeah.
fuck the rest of the group.
Mhm.
So it
Mhm.
actually worked out really well that he was separated.
Yeah.
Becky brought up a good point in the chat that it's kind of my main concern is that they're using her to be a distraction for Negan, which is going to lead to his downfall.
hmm
Which I hope doesn't happen. But I also think that there's a lot of potential hints that Negan might meet an untimely demise at some point. I don't know.
I don't think they'll do that.
They've done
No,
stupider
especially with
things.
the way they see the reviews and how everybody's raving about it.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
I don't know.
I love Maggie,
Why
but
else?
she can't hold it on her own.
But why else would they be? I don't know. I'm trying to think of the reasons why they could possibly want Ginny there.
hmm
To kill her off.
But that would be stupid.
I agree, but it's the only
Well,
person
if-
that pops in my head.
say the Croat does it, then Negan kills the Croat.
Yeah.
And then we never find Herschel, and you got season 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be. I don't know. And you know, we still haven't like. So Lisa Emery was in Ozark. She's the Dama is her character name.
Mhm.
I think she's in the next episode. Well, I know the pictures came out today, so she is in the next episode. And like she, you know, is supposed to be in league with the Croat and stuff. So it's like, you know, what's her role then? You know,
Yeah.
because we haven't seen her the whole time, and now all of a sudden she can be in the last episode or two, you know, 2 episodes. So
At least we know we see Herschel this episode too.
hmm
oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
a picture of him, yeah. But yeah, it's just I don't know. And then I also was like, so as they're getting done with all the fighting and they go out there, Thomas had told them they couldn't go in the sewers. They told them they couldn't do that, and they head right to the sewers. I'm like, what?
I know.
Also,
know.
we all thought he died, and
Yeah.
now he's back. They're gonna see. I love
pull-
him, but episode 5, he's gonna show a bite mark. I'm telling you.
Oh, I mean, they pulled a Glenn with him. Like, oh, there he goes. He's died. Oh, no, he's back. And
No,
now
I was
he's
thinking
gonna
more
die.
like Rosita. He's gonna show the bite next episode.
He might. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
I
not
don't know.
showing any kind of symptoms yet. So
Yeah.
you know, maybe it's on his leg or you know somewhere where it's not going to travel as fast.
Let me ask you guys something. Maybe it was just my TV. At the very end, when you see like everybody like you know climbing down the steps to the sewer, the black around like you know like the shadow, was anybody else's screen like flickering and like you see the black like? Okay, it must have been my TV. My TV's kind of old, but I was just like, is there like a weird light on or something? But it's just the black. I was seeing like the pixels on it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
it just
didn't
might-
notice it, but yeah,
That was a cool shot though to end it, where you just see
Yeah.
her like staring up at the camera. That was really cool.
going into the black. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
into the void.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Tommaso was that he was bitten 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's no way like, you know, you have the typical like, oh, he's going down, and then boom, he pops back, and then it's gonna show the bite mark.
So okay, so all right, let's do this. Okay, so if he does like say he's bit or whatever, there's hardly any tribes people left. So then what's next season bringing? If you don't even have
Exactly.
anybody, I'm like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
That's I mean, it's another reason I'm hoping he's not bitten, 'cause I
Yeah.
really like him.
yeah,
But if it's an arm or a leg, they could theoretically cut it off.
yeah, true.
We've seen that
Yeah.
time and time again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I was trying to look
Well-
for blood, because if he was bitten, you know, it would have bled through his clothes. So I was trying to find any like
his arm's bitten, and Negan just takes one
I
look at
really-
it. Well, Maggie, you know what? We've done it before. Let's do it again. You know.
I really hope not. Like, I really hope not. We've gone down this road so many times. I really hope not.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's realistic though.
Yeah, it is.
but it's so early in the show.
Like, you know,
I mean, it's,
Let's
it's
see it.
early
You know
in the
what?
show,
Let's-
but it's not
let's see-
early in the outbreak.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's
True.
see something different. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, cut him off from the ankle down. You know, something. I don't know.
He's got a bit foot. The walker's got a
I
foot
don't know,
fetish.
man. You know, Well, he fought off like 8 of them, so who knows? Maybe they get down on the ground. One of them bit him in the fucking Achilles heel. I don't know. Achilles tendon. Sorry.
Oh god, that sounds so painful. Fuck.
What did you guys think when they were in the octagon and ripping out like the pads? It kind of reminded me when they were like standing formation in season 9
with the shields.
Oceanside.
Yeah, I thought that was really well thought out.
No part of that was well thought out in my opinion. Because like me, from just my experiences and my training and shit like that, first step would have been to get to the octagon. It is.
Well, I mean, once they got there, I mean.
But even at that point, they started stabbing him, but then stopped.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stop! Like, the only limit to you doing that is your own fucking stamina. And adrenaline is a beautiful buff to your stamina. Just start stabbing them as fast as you fucking can. Kill them one at a time.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
There was so many like kills while they were in the octagon, like stabbed to the head and like exaggerated like time, like pull out and then stare at it and then stick and then pull out.
Yeah, there was a lot of staring moments.
I'm like, yo, just kill the thing. Next.
And fast forward to when Negan was on the catwalk thing and was overlooking where the octagon was. There was only a handful of dead walkers. They didn't kill that many.
That was a big continuity issue.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I get it that you have to pay somebody to sit there fucking pretending to be dead, but like,
they could have done CGI.
Yeah.
They've done it before.
Speaking of CGI, I mean, to go like past when the episode ends and they show for next week. I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week after, but whatever they come across down there in them sewers, it looks like it's 18 feet tall. You know, it's like a monstrosity that rears up on Maggie, I think.
It's actually,
I haven't even seen the preview
it's actually
yet.
a New York City rat that's just got infected. You know what I mean?
Well, see, look, here's where
it's like, the Rat King.
Like, I was just going to say, I feel like here's like a little competition where we watched The Last of Us. We saw what the Rat King can look like. So we need something to kind of like climb up the.
Oh no, we haven't. That was just a bloater. We have not seen anything of what they're planning for the Rat King.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, but I know what the Rat King looks like.
Yeah, the Rat King is terrifying.
And I'm sure the people from the TWD universe know what the Rat King looks like.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I feel like, do we need to like raise the bar a little bit and get a little bit out of our, normal realm here and throw something unique?
Renee, do you know what the Rat King looks like? Mm-mm. Just Google it. The Last of Us Rat King. You won't thank me later.
But yeah, in the preview, it definitely looks like there's something down there that they're going to encounter for sure. It looks pretty gruesome. So. And
I mean, maybe it's a combination of the methane gas and everything else that's like making things coagulate and join together. I have no idea.
It's the crow. He's kind of Dr. Frankenstein. He kind of pieces things together or something.
Yeah.
I want to see more before the season ends. I want to see more falling walkers. I think that was my favorite part of the entire show.
Well, that was fun, and I really like that, and I really like the zip lining, and we've seen it like twice.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you guys, they made such a big deal about that leading up to, and I'm like, we've seen it twice.
And it was like the first 2 episodes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, we need to see more.
I expected that to be like the mode of transport in this thing, That's the way
like we're not going to go through the sewers. We're just going to zip line. Yeah.
Because that's the showrunner and I believe it was the president of AMC. They made such a fuss about this. I was so excited.
I remember, what was it at San Diego Comic-Con last year? They were talking about it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it was like, we're this, and it's like that's it.
and how much of the teasers and the promos were about the zip lines?
Yeah, and then you showed that one person, you thought it was a variant walker, but it was just a prisoner.
Mm-hmm. So that was a very cool tease. I loved that because we were ready to see these.
We were so ready,
dude.
And it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're pulling a lot of fast ones on us.
Yeah, which is good. It keeps us guessing. So, like, we got to finish out we kind of skipped over the catwalk thing with the Croat and, and Armstrong. Yeah. So he brings Armstrong out and, like he, again, like, look, I got this present for you. It's guy that's chasing you. And Negan's just like, not even impressed. He wants Herschel, and then he, stinking Armstrong, man, Negan saves him and then he just
turns on him.
Yep, he just goes into full martial mode, and
bro, this is the only guy that's got your back in the entire fucking island, and you're just gonna try to arrest him. Okay.
And I like when Negan's like, "You're a dick."
Yeah, I love that. I was like, yes, we were all thinking it, Negan. Thanks for saying it.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah, it's over some bullshit code. Like, come on, what law are you upholding?
I wrote an article and I said, are the Marshal and Negan gonna team? Are they gonna conspire against the Croat? Because I was thinking, so Armstrong's he's a self-proclaimed family man. He told everybody that when he was telling, I don't even remember who it was, but Maggie or somebody, but about being a family man and this and that. He doesn't know why Negan killed those men. And so I'm wondering if Negan shares that story with him, if he'll start to be like, oh, wait a minute, those guys weren't as upstanding as I thought, and maybe he'll aid him or whatever. Because I feel like we don't know, is he a good guy or a bad guy? We don't know. He's kind of just kind of very vanilla at the moment. I mean, he sticks to his law and order rules of New Babylon, but yeah, we don't know, like, is he truly just wanting to do that, or is he just kind of a jerk like these other marshal and magistrate were that attacked Annie? So
I want to look, because on in our group chat I had said about the Walking Dead supply drop, a copy of Negan's wanted poster is in that. Yeah. So I want to zoom. I kind of want to look in the fine print, see if there's anything that could have been a hint.
A hint of what? I'm sorry.
A hint of his crimes,
I mean, we know he murdered 5 guys.
He murdered 5 men, a magistrate and 4 marshals.
Okay, maybe I did miss that part.
Yeah.
And that's it was they were the one Annie went into town and went shopping or whatever they do, and then they robbed her, beat her, and so
I wasn't feeling well when I watched that episode.
Yeah, so I missed that. Yeah. So
they only brought it up, I think, once or twice, and each time it was a blink and you miss moment, so that makes sense.
There was
Linda had a great point. Maybe Negan killed someone close to the Marshal, and maybe that's why he's so.
Well, I mean, it was his coworkers. It was just his coworkers, but I don't know, maybe.
I also liked when the Croat was like, Negan, where's Lucille?
Yeah.
He's broken, kind of thing. I was like, oh man, you don't want to go there.
What did he say? Bash too many heads in?
Yeah.
He went like this.
Yeah. You have to watch, there's a video of Would You Rather, and it's Armstrong and then the Croat and Negan, and they answer the questions, would you rather, I can't even remember them now, but it was really funny. Some of the, would you rather ride the subway or a horse? Would you rather, just these, but it was really good because, of course, all 3 of those guys had great answers and things like that. But you have to look it up. It was a good one.
That's awesome.
I saw the one where it was Jeffrey and Lauren, and it was all like Mets or Yankees, a very New York stuff. So that I'll have to look out for that. Yeah,
this one they even ask him pizza or barbecue. They ask him that, and something I was trying to remember what they said about would you rather swim in the Hudson or fall into a pile of horse manure? And Jelko says, well, in the apocalypse, it's basically the same thing.
Definitely the pile of horse manure. Definitely the horse poop.
Right.
But God. But so I mean that's and then I guess that's all. Well, we know that Armstrong got shot in the leg too, so he's going to be hurting, like Chris said.
That scene was kind of gory.
Yeah,
I had to look away for a moment.
So that
especially when he ripped it out of his leg, I was like,
I was like, oh.
I'm like, that's a lot, because it looks like it's one of those hooks that it goes in straight and then it spreads.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when you get shot with an arrow, the first thing they teach you is you push it through, not out.
Yeah.
And you break it off and then you push it through, and I'm just like, oh fuck, no.
I'm just thinking of the infection he's gonna have.
Yeah.
But when he started throwing him over the edge before Negan caught him, I was like, oh, okay, well there he goes. All right,
Yeah, he's
nice
gone.
knowing you.
I knew he wasn't dead though, because they spent too much time showing us shit from his perspective and
Yeah.
building up his story with his brother and shit like that. I'm like, wow, I called it. I was like, I saw him go over the edge. I'm like, well, Negan's gonna save him. And then I see the arms. I'm like, well, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to.
Yeah.
If he is gonna die, I want to know more about him. So
Yeah, I mean, I think the Marshal may die at some point, but I think it wouldn't be until the season finale or in season 2 at some point. But I think the Marshal will die, but I think we're gonna learn a lot more about him before that happens.
I think it's gonna be a sacrificial death, honestly.
I think he's gonna sacrifice himself to save Negan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep, I think he's gonna realize at the last minute that, you know what, life isn't that black and white, and then he's gonna do something to protect Negan.
Yeah.
And especially though, if that is a pretty bad injury.
Mhm.
So if he's not doing well to begin with, then I could see him being like, you know what, I'm dying anyway.
Yeah.
I might as well,
Yeah.
one last sacrifice ain't gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But then why build him up all season just to have a death like that, like die from infection? Like how you were saying, like about the brother.
Well, not from infection, but like the infection's in place,
okay.
he's dying anyway, kind of thing. So like, kind of give
Like
his life.
saying, I'm
towards
going to
it.
die anyway. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying now. Yeah.
Oh, I had a question. I lost it.
Oops.
I'm loving these Renee questions.
He doesn't know about Herschel, does he?
The
I
Marshal?
mean, does
I don't think so.
Armstrong? Does Armstrong?
Uh,
I don't think Armstrong knows that the reason they're after him is because of Herschel. I don't think.
Mhm.
I don't think so.
I don't think
But,
he knows
I
about
think
it.
once he finds out that the Croat has Maggie's kid, and if he's told about Negan, why I think he'll start to come towards their side more, and that could definitely happen. Where he feels like Chris said, he's going to die anyway, so I'm going to do this for this kid and whatever.
Yeah.
I think that the perfect time to introduce that information to the Marshal would have been when he was trying to arrest Negan, and Negan could have been like, I'm trying to save a kid, and this is how this is what you choose to do. Wow, you really are a dick.
Yeah.
And then have him be like, wait a second, save
what?
what kid?
Mm-hmm.
And then have Negan explain the situation. Then it would have been like, oh shit, you know what I mean? But I think that would have been the moment.
Wrong. After Negan says you're a dick, that's like the last time we see the two of them in that episode, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
So I'm thinking with episode 5, when it kicks up, if we see them together again, that's still a good time. He could still drop that little nugget of information.
The preview, I think the preview they're together, I believe. The preview for the next episode.
Okay, so there's still a chance then.
Yeah, because he wants to take him back and do all that. Linda had a question. Do you think the Croat planned the kidnapping of Herschel to lure Maggie into a trap? Because obviously he knows Maggie, he said to Negan, still helping the widow. Well, Linda, Renee thinks Maggie is going to give Negan to the Croat to get her son. I think she's had this plan the whole time.
That is Ryan
And then Negan's
approved.
going to wind up killing him.
Do what?
That is
Maggie?
Ryan approved. I believe.
Yeah.
I believe you.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think now that she knows, like, the Croats' history, like, with Negan, Negan's going to wind up killing him. But then, what's going to happen with the next season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's because Mitchell made a good point. He's like, do you think like the next season and then Negan will go look for his family?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but then it's not Dead City anymore. But
Yeah.
it'd be very cool though. I would love to see that.
Unless, Annie comes to the island.
Mhm.
When the Croat brought him out, Negan said, that's the wrong person I'm looking for. Yeah, that's right. Takira said that when the Croat brought Negan out, or not, when he brought Armstrong out too, he said, I'm looking for the kid. He said, I don't want, or yeah, that's not the wrong person. I'm looking for a kid.
Mhm.
But I don't know that it registered. I don't know if it registered with Armstrong because he was being manhandled and thrown over the side of the thing. So I don't know.
A lot of adrenaline.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
okay, I forgot about that. But yeah, I mean, I just keep thinking like this whole time Maggie, because Linda said, "Oh no, Renee, I was thinking the same, but I don't want it." But there's just too many things because there's still the issue like with the grain and all that. She said they stole the grain, but the guy was checking the grain bin at the bricks.
Yep.
So but she said the reason it's confusing is because she said he raided Hilltop, or I'm pretty sure she said he raided Hilltop, which it's not, it's called the bricks. And then they, so it's a little confusing, but they, like the guy was checking that bin, which would store grain. So why would he be checking it if the Croat stole all their grain? Why you be checking that bin? I don't know. I mean, it's just very weird.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
guys, I hate to interrupt. I gotta go. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, Chris.
All right.
I'll talk to all you guys soon.
Later, bro.
All right.
Be safe.
Bye.
But yeah, I know. I don't think Negan's going to die, Linda. I don't think that'll happen. I really don't. I think. Yeah, I'm just not sure. You think somebody's going to die, but you don't know. I guess I don't know, because you get rid of the Croat, you lost your villain. You get rid of Armstrong, you lost. They can't kill everybody, right?
But see, the thing is, though, like I know we're like kind of talking about like the deaths, but it's like, think about. I keep doing it again. Think about Walking Dead. Okay, season 1 was about a man trying to find his family and learn how to survive. Season 1 of Dead City, it's about a woman trying to find her family and survive. And Walking Dead just continued the survival, but then unfortunately it was a new villain every season. I just hope Dead City doesn't fall into that same trap where it's a new villain every season. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go, once we get rid of like the Croat or however the season plays out, I wanted to go back to like nature and the walkers being the main villain.
Has it ever been that way though?
Well,
in the very
season 1 and like half of season 2.
You had Merle and Daryl. They were
but okay, no, I agree with that, but not so much where it's like alpha level villain, governor villain. No, even governor's okay.
I mean, what does it say? Fight the dead, fear the living, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's just. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I just like this type of atmosphere. People that are in an apocalypse, bad people. They just use it as an excuse to be even worse.
That's true.
They don't have to mask it anymore. Yep. There's no law, there's no anything, and they're always going to be a bad guy.
There's no consequences for their actions.
Exactly. Yep. They're just gonna, someone is gonna always think they can be the one in charge. They're gonna always think that they can be the guy that does these things like the Croat, whatever, abuse people, torture them, and all these things. So
no, I'm fully there with you. Mm-hmm. I think what I'm just kind of trying to say is, I just hope it doesn't fall into the same trap where it's like, okay, the end of the season, we're done with this villain. Next season, new villain. I kind of just want to see like a cat and mouse kind of.
But okay, so like if that happens, see, there's no big bad coming up in the next season or something. What do you see that series being like? Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm curious on, because like if we get Herschel at the end of the season, it's like, okay, well the whole premise was getting Herschel back. Okay, you got Herschel back. What are you going to do for next season?
Well, even if they get Herschel back, it doesn't mean the threat of the Croat goes away.
Yeah,
those are not two mutually exclusive.
Unless they kill the Croat.
But if they don't kill him and get Herschel back, then they've accomplished one of their goals. But that doesn't mean the threat of the Croat is not still there. So then that could be the point of season 2 is them hunting the Croat or the Croat hunting them.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I meant with the whole cat and mouse. Mm-hmm. Like I hope they get Herschel back, but don't kill the Croats. That way, it does lead into a purpose for season 2. Mm-hmm. Like you're still after the man that nearly killed what's left of your family. Mm-hmm. And plus, obviously, Negan has personal ties to it, too.
But even if they don't get Herschel back at the end of the season, it doesn't mean that it takes away from season 2, though. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I just hope that... I don't know. I'm just curious to see how it's going to play out and what's going to happen.
So, Linda, to answer your question, the Croat explained that his family was killed by cannibals. And I think that was enough to set him on the course that he's on, where he believes that all of humanity is evil, and that what he is doing is justified in some twisted, sick, sinister way. That was my take on it, at least.
Well, everybody thinks their actions are justified, regardless.
And he saw that, Negan groomed, or whether Negan intended to groom him or not, he made him into what he is, because he followed Negan's pattern. He's made his new sanctuary. He's taking half of people's stuff. He's doing these things that Negan instilled in him when he was at his low point. He was what Negan said, he was ready to paint the wall with his brains. And he was that far gone after he lost his family. That would be tough to lose your family to cannibals and come back to that. But
this side of the Croat always existed. His family gave him the reason to bring that side out. Negan gave him the confidence to do that.
Yeah. I feel like he was kind of a bit of a blank slate when
Yeah.
Negan found him. And he just kind of just molded him.
And he was willing to do anything at that point because he was so far down the rabbit hole at that point.
No, so it'll be interesting to see. I'm excited to see what happens with Jeb. We only have 2 episodes left, so I mean, it's Are they
I feel like so much has to happen in these next 2 episodes, and I'm hoping it's just not rushed.
I know.
You know, what'd be cool would be an episode of Tales about the Croat like finding his family being eaten by a cannibal, and then having him being discovered by Negan.
Yeah.
Remember how we said in the beginning of the episode where we would love to have like a Simon Croat Negan like spin-off? That could be a Tales episode right there.
Yep.
That would have been an awesome episode.
Yeah, I agree with Takira. I think that he had it in him the whole time, but his family gave him enough reason. To suppress it, and then he had no more reason to suppress it.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't become a serial killer overnight.
Linda, it's 2 episodes and then the season's over.
Yeah.
She said mid-season finale. There's no there's only 6 episods in this season.
Yep.
Which makes sense because all their starter shows
every one of them. Yeah. Like people made such a fuss about that. I was like, The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, these all started episodes. I don't know what the big fuss was.
It's not a huge deal.
Most shows have their pilot season is always 6 to 8 episodes.
Shorter, yeah.
You know, because they're not going to invest a 20 episode season if they don't know if it's gonna do well. I mean, it could have flopped.
Certain shows do, but it's becoming rare, more and more rare. Usually it's 13 for the starter, but in a show of this caliber, it's always 6.
Linda, the Daryl series will release in the fall. They haven't announced the date for sure, but they just keep saying the fall.
Yeah.
So, and then Fear, I don't know. They haven't announced Fear. Fear has 6 episodes left as well for their series. That'll be their series finales, and we don't know. We just don't know if that'll come. I kind of wonder if they'll do it like they did. I think I said this before. How they did with Dead City, they'll put Fear right ahead of Daryl, then simultaneously air Daryl and the end of which I think would be bad for Fear though if they do that because it's their series finale. I'm not not this big proponent for the series, whatever, big cheerleader for the series, but I feel like they should have their own. They should have their season or series ending by themselves without Daryl.
Absolutely.
But I just wonder if they'll lead up to it. And then somebody's asking, are the actors really staying out of Comic-Con because of the strike? I think they have to.
So
I read the documents. They have to by law.
And not only that, but I also know at San Diego Comic-Con that major studios pulled out of San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Marvel, DC, HBO, and Warner Brothers all pulled out of San Diego Comic-Con. There will be no merchandise, no official merchandise sold at San Diego Comic-Con from any of those 4 studios. They will have no actors from any of their projects appearing there for that project. And
I think that was before the strike or anything.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was before the strike. That was them pulling out. So I don't know if the actors are staying out of Comic-Con because of the strike or if because there was some kind of soft pullout from, you know what I mean? I don't know.
See, the thing is between San Diego and like New York Comic-Con, for example, San Diego is all for promotional, really. New York is more of a meet and greet. Yeah, there's panels to promote, but not as many. So if they cannot promote anything present or past. So I don't know how the panels are going to work out, especially for like New York. But I think as far as the guests attending, I think it'll be okay. But for San Diego, they're done.
Oh, no, there will be no actors.
Yeah.
AMC will just probably show a little bit, say a few. Their panel is scheduled for an hour and a half, but I don't know how they're going to fill that.
Yeah.
So I don't. I mean, they were just going to do a Walking Dead universe panel. It wasn't going to be the individual shows and things like that.
Yeah.
To begin with, so I feel like they're just going to probably give some insight to some of the series and what's happening next and that kind of stuff. And maybe they'll announce second seasons of things because they've not done that yet. It's all over. I mean, Daryl's filming second season and they haven't announced it. You know what I mean? So maybe they'll just be able to announce some of those things. And then they had to announce that more Tales of the Walking Dead, but they haven't really said, is that
Is it like a season 2? Is it a new spin-off?
Yeah, they called it a new short form series. Well, what does that mean? Is it just season 2 of Fear, or is of Tales, or is this going to be something different? So maybe they got a lot of things to talk about. So I mean, that's all it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then someone had said that they didn't think Hardwick was going to be the moderator because they thought he was on the outs with San Diego Comic-Con too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought I thought Talking Dead was like completely donezo, in all honesty, because they haven't posted since.
But that's
like,
not.
November.
I mean, he always moderates the panels.
Yeah,
so it's nothing to do with Talking Dead. I mean, that's just his job. You know what he does. But So.
But like, I know a lot of people were freaking out about actors attending conventions in general, and like there's a convention by me happening in a couple of weeks, and they were saying no, it's still happening because they're not there to promote. Like, we are inviting them to attend. So like, I think like local conventions are still going to be fine. It's the mega ones that are.
But I wonder if they'll do it in solidarity and just not do it.
I don't know. It sucks. I have a 4-day ticket for New York Comic Con too.
Well, yeah, everybody does. I mean,
looks like I'm going to be shopping more this year.
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, and that might not be the case. Maybe they can. And then Pi asked if they can work outside of the U.S. I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's
they can't work on anything SAG related.
Yeah.
Non-union stuff, yes. So it's like if it's like an independent film, but anything union, no.
Yeah, because it's still covered under SAG at that point.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of because people were like, well, how are they still filming the Daryl? How are they filming Daryl? Like, they're using all French. There's a lot of French writers, French So that's how how they were able to get around that. But yeah, it'll be it's going to be crazy if they cannot get this fixed soon, because we're going to be watching reruns of everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of reality TV.
And that's
because you don't need writers for that.
Yeah, that's not a fan. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't, I saw that Norman Reedus and Diane were on vacation in Greece, so I don't know if they're done filming. They haven't said that they've wrapped season 2, but maybe they're just taking a break.
Yeah.
But they've been filming for a while though, so I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I've never been so happy to be non-union in my life because I still have a job. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And they I mean, with this going on now, maybe it will, make things it'll make the process go quicker once they realize everybody now that everyone's striking.
I think it's going to force the hand for them to come to an agreement on contracts for both the writers and the Actors Guild, because it's like, I mean, all of Hollywood is paused basically now.
Yeah.
Did you hear what the exec said? That they're basically this was before the actors went on strike. They flat out admitted they're holding out, knowing that the writers are going to run out of money by like October, and basically beg for any sort of deal.
Yep.
And the writers are like, no, like they actually have a fund to help out other writers when they're down on times or down on their luck.
But now with the actors striking, now that's going to force the studio's hands.
Exactly.
Their moneymakers are non-existent now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No promotion, no nothing. Like it sucks, but it's way overdue.
I think it's what had to happen to force the strike along for the writers.
Absolutely, because without writers, you got nothing. So I really hope it works out. Yeah. I've been following it very closely.
Agreed. You guys got anything else?
But in the meantime, we still have us to talk about stuff.
We'll make up shit all day long.
Heck yeah, we'll just we can always talk about old episodes or something if we need to. So
we'll figure something out.
We always figure it out.
So so we got episode 5 coming up Sunday.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're getting the home stretch.
It will be interesting.
Oh man, I got excited thinking the season finale was going to be on my birthday, but it's the week before. That would have been a cool way to spend it.
That would, right? All right.
Yeah, so I guess that's all.
I think that's all she wrote, folks.
Yeah.
We will be live next week. Again, not positive which day, but as always, Renee will post it out once we figure it out and work around our 4 schedules. But thank you everybody for tuning in. this was a bit mosh posh for us because, I mean, I think that we can all agree this collectively wasn't our favorite episode.
Yeah.
I think there were some parts that were good, but it was far from my favorite episode of the season so far. But I like I said, I think my favorite scene came from the scene with the doors exploding and the walkers coming in. That's probably my favorite scene from the show so far, but overall the episode was kind of lackluster in my opinion.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yep.
I like the flashback. I thought that was great, but yeah,
That too.
It just, I think, like Chris said, a lot of it dragged. There were spots where it was just too, whatever.
I found myself checking my phone a lot, and that's never a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the cat
I'm
and
more
gay
into
mouse.
the actiony scenes,
Yeah.
so that's kind of
The cat and gay mouse between Negan and the Craw took too long, in my opinion, and it was good, but it took too long. So, but yeah, I think that's it, everybody. And like I said, Renee will post it out and let you guys know when we're going to go live next week. But we will be live next week and covering episode 5.
Yay.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Renee, Chris, and Ryan going live. Best podcast, Beauty and the Beast. Sit back and catch a vibe. Oh yeah, we talking zombies and apocalypses and all those things you like. Going beast mode, and if you didn't know, it's Peter Z up on the mic. Whoa, hey, TWD family, grab the snacks about the pantry. Subscribe and like if you can, please, or those walkers eat you like some candy. Hey, okay. You at the right place at the right time. No one does it better, that's the bottom line. Beauty and the Beast, this is prime time. Let's go.